What up, Coach?
It was good, man.
What's going on with you, man? How you doing?
Yes, sir.
Hanging, hanging. You know, trying to do something right, during these times. And yeah, man, I just wanted to do a interview with you because I know you've been through, some. Hold on, let me fix the light in here. All right, where we go.
Yeah.
Just want to ask you these questions real quick. Well, I have a bunch of questions, and it's starting from since like when you started coaching at what was it, 2018 at Lynn English?
Yeah.
Word. So let's get it popping, man. So my first question for you is, what made you start coaching?
Yeah, man. So for me, man, when I first got done playing, I had surgery. You know what I mean? So my career stopped a little short. When I came back home to Lynn, I wasn't doing much, man. I was running like camps and clinics, my skills academy, and then I got offered opportunity to coach D3 at Wheelock College in like 2014. So I jumped on it, man. I just wanted to help, share the knowledge that I had. I took that job for a year. Year after that, man, I got offered an assistant job at Salem State with Coach Harvey and those dudes. And it was a great opportunity for me, man. I went over there and, I jumped on that as well. That was closer to home. Learned about the recruiting and the process, how it works with grades and all of that. From there, man, got offered a job at Division II school in New Hampshire. I took that. And while I'm up there, I have some people from back home, and Lynn called me just about Lynn English opening up. The coach before me had passed away, and that the job was going to open, and I should go for it. At first, I was a little hesitant. But then, man, I applied for it, and I got it, man. And then, the rest is history.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's huge, My next question after that goes, what would you say is your toughest battle when it comes to coaching in general?
Just getting the kids to buy in, man. You know what I mean? Like, coaching in the inner city, not easy. These kids got agendas, man. You know what I mean? So they got people in their ear as well. They got family, they got friends, so it's tough. You know what I mean? So from day one, man, I try to create a culture where they got to listen or I'm kicking them out. You know what I'm saying? Like they get it. All my players, man, I love them all. Freshmen through varsity, I treat them all the same. You late to study hall, I kick you out. You know what I mean? You late to practice, the whole team run, or you get kicked out. So they, at first it was a little tough, but yeah, they eventually got it, man. And then every time a freshman came through the door or someone else came through the door, they laid the law down quick. So I really didn't have to say much after that. You know what I mean? I have some great leaders, and they bought in, and that's how we've been moving.
Word, man. That's what's up, man. So, what would you teach your players besides basketball?
You say what?
What do you teach your players besides basketball?
Teach them about life, man. We talk about everything. There's times we sit in the locker room and talk for an hour or so. Just about like how everything in the city moves. There's people, that make money in the inner cities who try to influence kids on, hey, score 30 points and I'll give you $100 or do this. I'll buy some kicks, and I just try to tell them it sounds good, but you got to learn to block that out. You know what I mean? Like that $100 just sounds good for right now, but like you can mess up the team's morale by taking that money. We want to win games, we want to win championships. So, we talk about that, man, just the academic side of things, and I just talk to them about life, man, getting out of Lynn, being experiencing the world from just a basketball. So. Like we have those conversations, and my phone's always open for them. They call me and text me about everything. We FaceTime. I FaceTime my players. We talk trash. I'll go hang with them. If they home, I'll go run up on them like, hey, I'm outside. You know what I mean? So we built that. We built those relationships, man, and my players love it, man. I'm on them on the court, but off the court, they know I just got their best interest.
Word. So it's like a big family.
Yeah, that's how we treat it.
All right, man. So your first year, you guys didn't go all the way. I just want to ask you, what did you learn from your first year at coaching at Lynn English?
My first year was, it was different, man. We had a lot of guys who were already doing what they wanted to do for a couple of years before I got there. So them learning my system, learning how I operate, how my coaching staff operates. It was all new for everybody. So, you know, we was learning as we on the go. You know, we started some freshmen. We had some older guys, and we blended. You know, I think we went like 17-5. We lost to Lowell in the second round at Lowell, and after that point, man, like me and my coaches met like a day or so after we lost, and we just like, man, like we got them. You know what I mean? Like these kids, they get it. You know, they see like we care. They see, you know, we want them to be successful, and then, man, we just kept it. We kept running.
Word. What was your biggest obstacle in 3 years of coaching at high school so far?
You know, just having them to have a mindset every game like it's their last. You know, as a high school kid, man, they know who the top teams are, man. Like these kids aren't dumb, so it's hard to get them to be focused and want to play versus the team that's 2-15 or 3-17. But like that's my job, man, to drill that in them, to kind of get that mindset away from them, because you can't be successful at nothing if you thinking about the week, you know what I mean? So I think that was my biggest challenge, was kind of get them to, one, you know, stay focused, and two, not worry about stats, you know what I mean? Like we win, the accolades come for everybody, man, and that's my message to them and my coaches as well. We tell them all the time, let the accolades that come when you win. You winning championships or whatever you winning, the MVPs, the call conferences, the all scholastics, that's all going to roll about. So, you know, I think that's when we preach year round to them, and you know that's their mindset now.
Nah, yeah, man, that's a fact. So, your first year, you guys had a winning record. You guys make the playoffs. You guys beat Peabody in the first round.
Yeah.
And then you guys take on Lowell at the second round, but end up losing that game. Describe what your team could have done better in that game for you guys to get that W.
Man, Alex killed us, man. That boy went off.
He did. He did.
Man, that boy had like 40.
Yeah.
He showcased his talent. You know what I mean? So as a former hooper, you know, you can only tip your hat off and respect that. You know what I mean? The kid came and played ball, man, and you know, for us, that was something like my players needed to see. You want to go play college basketball. Here's a Division I basketball player who's showing you why he's going where he's going, and you know, that was kind of a learning curve for all of us, for myself, for my coaches, for my players. I think the one thing for me though, man, is regardless of someone scoring 40 or 50, just the old hooper in me won't allow. I can't box in on nobody or triangle into nobody. Like, you got to man up. If he cook you, he cook you. Yeah. My players, we get after them. So it's hard for players to just do that now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Shout out to that boy Alex, man. That boy got game. So next season, wow, talk to me about this squad, man. Next season, 2018 to 2019 season, Alonzo, Jarnell, Mason, Jack, Justin. I'm just naming the starting five. I know y'all had a squad, but I'm just naming the starting five. This squad was tough. You guys ended up the regular season with an 18-2 record. You guys defeated 3 MVC teams. Wow, Lawrence, Andover, and Central Catholic at the North Finals.
Yeah, man. You know, it was good for us, man. You know, I think last year, man, it was on a roller coaster too. Even though we was winning, you know, Jarnell was new. You know, even though he's from Lynn, he came back home, so he was new in adapting to how we was playing. Justin adapting to how we were playing. Jack adapting to how we were playing. Mason and Alonzo were the only two that played, like, you know, the year before. And they got it, man. Like, these dudes are all unselfish. You know, to think three guards like, you know, Jack, Mason, and Jarnell to gel how they gelled is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Alonzo to sacrifice his game for us was crazy. And they all made sacrifices. The guys coming off the bench, Aaron and Calvin and guys like that, man, who came off the bench, stepped up in a big role as well. And, you know, I think it's the crazy thing about it was our practices, what I try to get them to understand, our practice got to be harder than games. We got to the tournament, like you said, and we We had Lawrence. Them boys came to play.
Yeah.
Then we got Andover. Like, it didn't get no easier. So they came to play. Central Catholic, they came to play. And with Kevin and George and all these guys, man. So I think, but the one thing was, man, I think the people just, they looked at it and like, oh, you know, they're not playing nobody. Their league's not tough. But I don't really look at the league. I look at the guys in my uniform. And, you know, man, at the end of the day, I got soldiers. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing I'll put them to war with anybody. And that's how I roll.
You guys went 18-2 that season. Who did you guys lose to?
You say who?
You guys lost 2 games that season. Who did you guys lose to?
Yeah, we lost it last year.
Nah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, we lost to St. Mary's and somebody else beat us. Oh, Mansfield.
Okay.
We went down. We went down to Mansfield. They beat us down there.
Word. So you guys then move on to the states and defeat Newton North at the state semifinals and defeat Putnam at the championship game. You win your first ring as a Lynn English coach and give the school the first ring since 1939. Talk to me. What's going through your mind when you got that first ring?
Oh man, you know what? I was honestly so happy for my players because, you know, like at the end of the day, man, like for them just to get that feeling of winning a title is special. You know, I was fortunate, man. In high school, I won, and you know, as a professional, I won some. But as a coach, it's a better feeling because you're leading a group. You know what I mean? Like this is what you put your work in for. All summer league, fall league, the conditioning, man, and they went and got it, man. You know, I think like everyone stepped up every different game that we played, man, from the Garden to Holy Cross when we played Putnam. But in the locker room, man, it was just happiness from 1 through 15. Guys who didn't get in the game jumping up and down as if they played 25 minutes. And that's how it's been, man, throughout the whole season that year. Everyone's just happy for everybody, man. But that feeling of that first one is special because you kind of get that hump off your back. That's every coach's dream is to win that state title. And to win an Division I is tough, man. You're in a gauntlet. So like it's to show that you know what I mean, you're on top of that. And I mean in Massachusetts or in your division alone, whatever division it is, means something. And it meant something to me, my staff, man, especially the city of Lynn, the school, especially my players, man. I know they were ecstatic for sure.
Yeah, man. You guys definitely put on for the city, man. I was there in the locker room and I see that the energy from the number 1 player to like the last player in the team, and they were just all the energy was on 100. But yeah, just speaking of, you know, it's for them, and you know, obviously you're the coach, and you didn't win Coach of the Year. I'm gonna keep it 100. I feel like you got snubbed. What do you have to say about that?
It was good, man. You know what I mean? I think it's just credit to my coaching staff, honestly. My players, man. I know the award is presented to me because, you know, I'm the head coach, but man, my coaches, they probably get annoyed with me too. I'm always texting them like, yo, you watch this tape, who does this? So, you know, I think, like I tell them all the time, man, like that award goes to all.
No. I'm talking about last year. You didn't win Coach of the Year.
No.
So I'm saying like
you know what?
I thought you should have had it.
Yeah. It was, man, you know, I couldn't, you know what, man, you know, it's and everything that we do in everybody's world is politics. And, you know, for me to be a new coach, they probably didn't like the fact that we won so fast. You know, they gave it to a coach who we beat by 30 points. That was the crazy part.
Yeah.
We beat Newton North by 25 points. But, you know, you can't be mad about it, man. You know, I think I'll take the ring over the coach award any day.
I hear you. So next season, you got 3 starters from last year that returned to the lineup again. Jarnell, Jason, and Jack. I'm talking about the starting lineup. With the addition of 2 more guys, AB and JB, to complete the lineup. Describe their game. Let's start off with AB.
What you talking about, the starting lineup?
Yeah. Describe AB's game. AB.
Oh, JB.
AB.
Oh, Ademide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Ademide's my guy, man. You know, so Ademide was with us. You know, he was with us his first year. Then, you know, he went to St. Mary's. And then he came back And when when he came over, I think he's we're not gonna change how we play. You know what I mean? Like you just gotta get in shape. He worked his tail off, man. At the end of the day, he's young still, man. So he worked hard. You got veterans like Jarnell and Jack and Mason. They always lifted him up, whenever he wanted to, whenever he didn't feel like his normal self. But once when they got rolling, it was over. You know what I mean? So he's a man amongst boys. I think he's probably the only person in Massachusetts to put up 30 and 23 on TJ Guy.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? TJ's a beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a bully down low, bro. He's like a Zach Randolph.
yeah. They're like that's like you know what I mean. So like that's the only person who I mean. So for a Dimity to put up numbers like that against a kid like that, man, and he just kept going. He was too nice a lot, which he knows we talk about all the time. And I'm like, man, shoot it more, shoot the ball more, But they were also unselfish, so I couldn't really get mad. They were all about each other, man. They drove up everyone else's success, man. So that was made them special.
Word. And when JB, talk to me about JB.
JB, same. It was rough for him in the beginning, Yeah. He had to learn the game, man. He was getting in foul trouble a lot, like not being in the right spots and not knowing the right signals and things like that. But again, credit to my coaching staff and the guys on the team who kept steering him in the right direction, man. And once he got it clicking, it was a wrap. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure if it's true or not, but is it true that he started playing ball when he was 15?
Who, JB?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he first came over and I seen him, he played with us in the fall. I was like, oh man, what's my man's doing? Like, the game was so fast. The game was different for him. But we had to work with him. We knew we had to work with him. The guys on the team worked with him, try to get him in the right mindset. And we just try to make the games easier for him. And once he figured out we didn't have to have as many plays for him to be successful, he was happy about it. And he didn't have to think much. Once he got it clicking, the dunks, the blocks, it came in rotation.
Yeah. I felt like even though Jarnell had a hell of a year, I felt like he sacrificed the most on the team. And shout out to him for doing that. Like not a lot of players will be willing to do that. How did you make that happen?
Who's that, Jack?
Jarnell.
Oh yeah, Jarnell, man. Jarnell is a little feisty little dude, man. Like that's my guy. Like, you know what I mean? So me and him, we go at it. And he loves it because I'm on him. And he, you know what I mean? Like regardless if he shoots it, like he'll pass the ball sometimes, and I'm like, why didn't you shoot the ball? And he's like, man, I wasn't open. I said, yes, you were. Shoot it. And so next time he'll shoot one from half court. Like knowing that I'm gonna say something. But Jarnell leads. Jarnell leads by example. He's fiery. He brings that energy, that fire in his eyes, man, that you can't teach, you can't coach that. And he's willing to do whatever it takes for the team to win. You know what I mean? So, he scores. But people don't really see, like, he'll defend, he'll take charges, things like that. He'll get his nose dirty. And just those plays alone, man, helped him be successful. He's a scrappy little dude, man. Like I said, my man gets after it. He ain't afraid of nobody at all, man. So he's always, always ready to go. No matter who you play, where, what, he's after. He's ready. And, what I mean? Like, you're going to miss that.
Yeah, that boy's always ready for the action, man.
Yeah.
You guys finished the season, again, 18-2. Who did you guys lose to?
Well, Mason reminded me of me when I was a player. Like, just strap you up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no matter who you covering, he gonna put you in a blanket. You know what I mean? And that's why, he's another one who led by example too, man. Like, he would do everything I asked of him. He's not very talkative where he wants to yell at his teammates, but I had to kind of bring it out of him sometimes where I was tired of yelling at dudes, and he would speak up. But in games, he was always ready, always making big shots. People people are keying on Jarnell and Ademide and Mason, Jack. They just step up and make big shots. And that goes also to Jarnell and Ademide too, because they would hit their guys who are open, and you know that's what they live for.
Yeah, for sure. That's what separates Jarnell also from a lot of players. He's a team player.
Yeah,
for sure. So you guys finished the season 18-2. Who did you guys lose to?
Who's that?
Who did you guys lose to? You guys lost 2 games. Who did you guys lose to?
Who we lose to this year? We lost to a team Yankton out of South Dakota.
Oh, y'all went out there?
Yeah, we went out to South Dakota. We went 1-1, man. They had a kid, my man going to Wisconsin. He killed it. They had like 30. And then we lost to East Catholic out of Connecticut, down in Connecticut, which was a good game. We kind of let that one slip away. It was new rules for us, no shot clock, things like that out there. But they beat us. Ain't no excuses, man. Like at the end of the day, we let that game slip. Like we didn't play as a unit, and you got to take that loss. And I think we learned from that. Once we lost that one, we kept rolling.
Word. So it's playoff time. You know, you guys defeat Lynn Classical in the first round. Then you guys face off Lawrence in the quarterfinals, and then Waltham in the semifinals. Now, for me, this was the game of the year. Well, for me at least, the North Finals Championship. The defending state champs, Lynn English, versus the undefeated Lowell Red Raiders. Wow, what a game. Talk to me about that game, man.
Man, that was a war.
Yeah.
I mean, like that game was a war, man. Like, and personally, I know Carlos. That's my guy. I knew him since he was middle school. I knew Nate for a couple of years. Like, and just when we scouted them, man, those guys can hoop. They're fast. They defend. They can shoot it. They play hard. They're scrappy. So we knew what type of game it was gonna be. That's what everybody wanted to see all year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But I think the people got their money's worth. They was probably the top 2 teams in Massachusetts playing, and I honestly think if either one of us was on the other side, we probably would have met in the Garden or the state title game. So
that's all right. That's a fact.
I think that's why it was easy when they canceled the championship to say we won it, because we felt like we beat the next best team, which was Lowell, and whether it went to overtime or not, man, that game was just an all-out war. Back and forth all game. And, I think, I've been coaching for 3 years now, and I played at the Songus when I was in high school. I'd never seen a crowd like that. And they held the game for 40 minutes just so people could get in the building. And just because everybody wanted to see that game. So, you know what I mean? I think, shout out, credit to those guys at Lowell, man. They didn't quit. They weren't afraid, which I didn't expect them to be anyway. You know what I mean? So, that was definitely one for the ages right there.
Yo, we got Mason. He's gonna be Nate's teammate next year, huh?
Who's that?
Mason, and
yes.
He's gonna be with Nate. They're gonna be playing together next year.
Yeah, man. Mason, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a backcourt. That's the boys fast. They fast. They defend. And they'll play well together because Lowell, we play the same style of basketball. So I think Nate and Mason, that's gonna click in 2 seconds. And I think once they get themselves in gear, that league gonna be in trouble for sure.
Word. So let's go. Let's talk. Let's get back to the game versus you guys versus Lowell. There was a point in the game that you guys lost the lead, but you guys were able to tie up the game. Lowell called timeout with about 15 to 17 seconds left in the 4th quarter. During that timeout, what were some of the words that you spoke to your players that forced that game to go to overtime?
You know what? We kind of put ourselves in that position. You know what I mean? And I think once we figured that out, man, we knew they had a chance to kind of win the game. And we just told the guys in how to look. We just need one stop. Regardless of who you playing, let's lock in. Let's talk on defense, make the right switches, make the right reads. We did that, which allowed them to. We created like a bad pass, and the kid didn't catch it clean, which took some time off and like send it to OT. So once we went to overtime, you know, we just wanted to kind of keep playing. I think, and then once we got in overtime, we made some shots, and you know they weren't making many shots. They didn't make any shots, and we kind of got out and scored, and like that kind of helped us and sealed it a little bit.
Yeah, so like you were saying, the game is now at overtime. It's a new game. Anyone can take it. Even with all the pressure on the line, you guys were able to shut down Lowell defensively.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I think from the jump, it was just a seesaw, man. Like we go on a run, they go on a run. Neither of us will both go scoreless for 3, 4, 5 minutes. You know, both teams can defend, man, and both teams are athletic. Both teams, you know, got in your face a bit. And like I said, I was even on coaching and watching, like, man, this is one hell of a game. Like,
yeah.
Neither one of us called timeout either. So we were they were just running, and it was a good one for sure.
Word. So that boy Jack, he went off in overtime. He scored 9 points, which was huge for you guys. Explain how important it is to have a player like Jack in the team.
Man, Jack is Jack. Man, like Jack goes. He don't go through the motion, but he goes through the motion. But he gets it, man. Another thing, you know, like they were leaving him open, and we kept telling him, you got to shoot it, man. Like, they're gonna leave you, make him pay. We got confidence in you. You know, in practice, he puts up extra shots after practice. So you know, when he hit the pull up and hit the three, we knew it was home. You know, we seen it the year before. He can flip a switch in 2 seconds. You know, when Jack does that, it's scary. And I think that from then, like, he just puts himself in a zone where no one can cover him. And we found some mismatches in that overtime where we kept pick and roll and putting the big man. They had to switch their big man onto him, and Jack took advantage of that.
Word. What would you say the road to the States was tougher this year or last year?
You said what?
Would you say the road to the chip, was it tougher this year or last year?
It was definitely tougher this year. You know what I mean?
Really?
It's tougher because we wanted to be able before everyone wanted to knock you off. So you got, you know, we got Classical, who we beat by 25 or more both times. And then they wanted to beat them by 8 in the first round. Then Lawrence comes to town. We ended up winning by a large margin, but it was close. It was a 3-point game at halftime.
Yeah.
Waltham was a different story. That game was over from the jump. But then Lowell was a war. Mansfield, we kind of opened them up a little bit because we played them before, so we seen that movie already. So we were ready. But they're a good team as well because them boys can hoop. So, you know, it was definitely not an easy road. And we knew, like, everybody wanted to be that team that kind of knocked us off. So, you know, we knew we had to come with it.
That's right. Earlier in the season, you guys faced off Mansfield. Didn't that game go to overtime?
We went to overtime at home. Yeah, my boy Bowen hit that 3-ball, man. Like, boys is good, man. Them boys can play. Like, people are like, oh, like how they, until you play them, you understand like why they're good like that.
Facts. You guys then face off Mansfield at TD Garden for the Eastern Mass title and win. 1 game left to take home the state title, but it was canceled due to the virus. You must have been upset. I was upset.
Yeah.
Talk to me. How you feel, man?
I was tight, man. Like, I had to talk to my team and just see the hurt on their faces. Like I don't want to tell them now like they can't play for the championship that they deserve to play for. And you know that's the one thing that kind of bothered me, my team, my coaches, everybody, because personally I seen Springfield putting them on film, you know, like things like that, and they can play. They have 1 loss, but I'm gonna tell you, if that game was played, them boys was in trouble. And you know I think they know it too. They don't gotta say much, but you know I think everyone knows what was gonna happen that Saturday night if we got to lace them up with them boys.
That's funny because that was my next question. You guys end up being co-state champs, but do you believe you guys would have won the state title game? Oh,
definitely. I wanted that bad. Like, I was willing to say screw this quarantine. Like, yo, let's meet up somewhere. You want to play? I'll bring my guys. Like, and I'm sure he would have probably done the same thing. I don't know the coach at all, but you know, and not even into the trash talk, but I know for a fact my guys would have took care of business for sure.
How you guys looking next year?
We're gonna be all right, man. You gotta think AB's back. You got Aaron who came off the bench. You got Lou came off the bench. You got Kanye. These are all three people that can score the ball. Like Jarnell, Jack, Mason, they get the credit, as they deserve. But these three are gonna scare some people. And we got the young kid Josh, who's a freshman who plays some minutes off the bench, big kid. So you pair him up with AB with these three. I'm gonna line them up with whoever. I just know these three are going against Jarnell, Jack, and Mason every day for 2 years.
Okay.
They
Hold up. So are we saying 3P here?
Huh?
Are we doing 3P here?
I don't speak on that, man. But I know I'm just saying we're gonna play a tough schedule when that time comes. I just know my guys will be ready, man. I'm super confident that Kanye and Lou and Aaron, AB, Josh, they'll lead the ship. We got size, we got speed, we got shooters. Our style of play ain't unchanged. People may think, Jarnell, no Jack, no Mason, this, that. They thought the same when we lost Alonzo too. You know what I mean? So we're gonna be all right. I think a lot of people will be surprised. I won't though. Like my coaches, my team, we won't. I know how them kids work. In the game that they played, they made plays. And the crazy thing is, you got Lou, Aaron, and Kanye, AB, Josh. The five, they all can score 20 on any given night. So,
how was that JV team?
Huh?
How was the JV team?
Oh, JV?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they had one loss. They got some kids on there. They got, we got Zion, you got Lyde, you got Taj on there. You had a bunch of kids. Josh played a little bit down there early in the year. So you got some kids that can play. We have freshmen who could have probably played JV, but our JV was stacked as well. So like I said, and if there's a summer league, I'm gonna give the young boys a sniff. Let's see what you can do. You know what I mean? And not to mention, man, at the end of the day, we never know who's gonna come off that bench and spark us, man. So you always gotta be ready. But like I can say for right now, for the guys that I know that are coming back to varsity, those five are for sure killers. Those five, I'm matching them up with whoever. I don't think there's gonna be anyone that can beat them either. Honestly,
I like the energy. So you don't have to answer this, but I'm gonna ask you anyways. This year starting five versus last year starting five. Who you got?
You know what? My coach is asking me that all the time. I said, you know what? Hey, I would have to. I honestly would. That's tough.
Tough, very tough.
It's tough, but you know what? I'm gonna go with. I have to go with this year.
This year? Okay.
I think we defended better than we did the year before. You still got the three guards with Jack Mason and Jarnell, that three-headed monster. Then you just flip JB and AB with Alonzo and Justin. So Alonzo was just an animal too, though.
Yeah, facts.
So, but I'm gonna go with this year. It's tough, but I think this year they had a target on their back and kind of they handled it a lot differently. So I'm gonna go with this year for sure.
Word. You guys, the bench this year you guys had was you had players that could start in any other team.
Yeah, and that's the one thing, man. I think, like I said, Aaron, Kanye, Lou, if they were at other schools, they'll start. And they could have easily took the quick road out and left and went and started somewhere else and averaged 20, but they nah. And it's their time now, man. Them boys is ready. We stay in constant communication with my team, even the guys that were here this year, and the young boys was ready. I was joking with them about, the seniors get to reclass because of the quarantine and the pandemic. Kanye they got to go. So, you know what I mean? Just things like that, man. I know my guys already, man. Like I know they know people gonna doubt them, but they know we got their back, man, and we riding with them. So that's the best of it.
Word. So we get into the end of this interview. And is there anything that you want to say to other hoopers that are home, quarantining?
Yeah. You know what? I think at the end of the day, man, you know, MIAA, like, they did the whole co-champion thing, you know, because of the quarantine and the pandemic and everything that's going on. So, like, do we feel we won it? Physically, nah, but we know we won it because we played the tougher route. You know, we played some horses to get there. Not, you know, they only had to play 1 or 2 games, and I don't think they would beat Lawrence or Lowell or Mansfield. So you know what? Like I told my players, we're gonna take this chip. Like, you know, like at the end of the day, they were awarding it to us. We're gonna take it. You know, like, so, you know, I think it's just tough because obviously you want to be that lone one standing, but with the situation that's going on in this world, man, like, you just gotta accept it. It's crazy out there. So they got it.
Word, man. So I just want to thank you, man. It's a wrap. That was a good interview. I know a lot of people were writing a lot of stuff in the comments.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man. You know, obviously it's Lynn English. Y'all the top dogs. You're gonna have people that rock with you, and y'all gonna have people that that hate on y'all, and that comes when you're great, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, man. So it's a wrap here, man. I want to thank you for doing this interview. I appreciate you, my brother.
You already know, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Peace out.